AITA for refusing to lend my sister my wedding dress. Advice needed. So I 28F got married last year and had a dream wedding with a beautiful dress that I fell in love with the moment I saw it. My sister 26F recently got engaged and asked if she could borrow my wedding dress for her big day. While I'm thrilled for her and want to support her, I feel really attached to my dress and the memories associated with it. I politely declined, offering to help her find a dress that she loves just as much as I love mine. She was visibly upset and accused me of being selfish and not caring about her happiness. Now my family is divided, with some saying I should just lend her the dress since it's just a piece of clothing, and others supporting my decision. AITA for not wanting to lend my sister my wedding dress? First comment. NTA. To some people, a wedding dress is just a piece of clothing. I'm one of those when it comes to my wedding dress, but I would never take that attitude about anyone else's. If it's special to you, then it's special and not to be lent out if you don't want to. Period. Stop explaining or negotiating. You've said your piece, there's nothing more to discuss. You're obviously dealing with an entitled person and her flying monkeys who don't give a crap about your reasoning. She only wants what she wants, possibly venturing into that obnoxious bridezilla territory. Do not give in. Repeat no one last time, then ignore anyone who pesters you about it. Second comment. Yeah, is your sister the golden child? Because it sure sounds like it. You absolutely do not ask to wear someone else's wedding dress, especially someone who just got married last year. And the people telling you should just load it to her, to call them back and tell them that's okay, now she wants your car for the next year. I told her she should just come and pick it up because we should be generous with our family, right? Yeah, that vacation cabin? We're going to have the wedding there because she wants it there, and if not, she wants to do it at your house. So you're going to have to put all your stuff away, and you're going to have 150 people trapped through your house in your backyard so she can have her wedding there. No problem, right? Yeah. Oh, and you are relatives over here? She says you're going to pay for her wedding at least. She says that's my contribution, so you should not be giving her $3,000. And when they all say, of course they're not doing that, then ask why they think what is essentially your asset to demand. And not just that, a very personal and intimate asset. One that you specifically chose to get married in. And then tell them all to shut the FCK up and call sister and tell her how unreasonable she is being. Sister being cheap. She wants something very nice for nothing. And if she is a golden child, I'm certain that she couldn't stand watching you have your moment and now she wants to keep in it. Hell no. Story 2. AITA for telling my BF you knew my job. Why do you care now when he broke up with me because of it? Hi everyone. So I want to start by saying I have 21 have a really unique job that not a lot of people agree with. It's okay if you don't, it's not your job and it doesn't have to be. I respect your opinion, just please don't be rude about it. I currently work as a maid, a topless maid. As in, I clean people's homes with no clothes but my bottoms on. I do this because my friend found it as a side hustle. I am currently in college and it is how I pay for each of my semesters, enabling to me to graduate with zero debt. I graduate next semester. At that point, I will quit my job. I typically clean very expensive homes for very rich people, and I have never really had a bad experience at my job, thank God. Of course there is leering, but I mean that's the appeal. It really doesn't bother me. I told my BF M25 this on our second date because I know that some people, especially men, have a problem with it. I have to admit he was a little put off at first, but ultimately he decided he was okay with it, as long as it isn't my life goal LOLL, which it certainly isn't. We have been dating now for 6 months and it has been very good. He honestly is a great BF and I did see a future with him. Unfortunately, last night he broke up with me. It started because I told him to come to my house at 7, and I would make us dinner. Well, I ended up being late because there was an accident on the bridge I take from one of my clients' house. My BF heard it on the news and told me take my time, he will chill at my apartment and it's not a rush. When I got home, I was exhausted from driving and went right to my bedroom to put some comfy clothes on. My BF was there. It didn't bother me, I just took my shirt off to throw a PJ shirt on. My BF looked at me as I did, and I could see in his face that something changed that instant. He saw me topless, and with my uniform bottoms on, and it seemed like he just now made that connection about what I do and look like. He broke up with me right then and there. I sobbed all night and all day. When he called me just recently, I asked him why. He told me my job. I told him that he's known my job. Why even waste my time and break my heart? He called me a slut and an asshole for that. He told me you can't even see this from my perspective, I actually loved you. I'm just so hurt. AITA for any of this? I thought I was so clear about everything my job is. First comment. NTA, as you said, he knew your job. That being said, he does have a right to his feelings. He probably thought he was okay with it, and when it hit him, he realized he actually wasn't. I think he definitely could have handled it better, but I'm not sure how much of a difference that would have made unless you were willing to quit your job. I don't know that I'd call what you're doing sex work. It's something tangential to that anyway. But you have to understand that in that type of work, you have the potential to have things like this happen. It's no one's fault. You have every right to do that job if you want to, but it's not for everyone. And he, at any time, can decide he's no longer okay with it, even if he was at first or thought he was anyway. It's kind of the drawback of jobs like that. Yes, people pay good money to see boobs, but the cost and the risk you run is that often a partner will eventually become uncomfortable with the idea of it. So you kind of have to choose the job or the partner, but you're NTA. I'd also want to clarify that I'm not suggesting you can't have a partner with that job. I just mean that, as you said yourself, a lot of partners would not be comfortable with that. Second comment. NTA. And I'm sorry for how people are treating you on here and in real life. Our culture has a bad habit on looking down on someone in the sex trade. It doesn't matter male or female. Houses of ill repute used to be run out of town by the conservative religious married woman whose husband went to see the girls after work. They couldn't stand that. Prohibition happened in part because of that mindset. There are good and understanding partners out there who can handle dating someone in the sex trade. Not all people won't or can't handle it. Him logically knowing you were working topless and seeing what your clients see was more than he could handle. Neither of you are AS. You weren't meant for each other. Anyone who says no one would date a sex worker are being very narrow-minded. Unfortunately, they who don't judge are few and far between. After all, Jesus judged Mary Magdalene for being a hooker. Many will walk away just because you used to work topless in the past. Mind you, porn is a huge industry. So those judgmental people are being hypocritical. Story 3. Am I the asshole for planning a divorce from an overeater? Advice needed. My wife is morbidly obese and weighs about 350 pounds. I recently found out she lies about her eating habits. I asked her why so many restaurant containers are in our trash. She confessed she racked up $300 on a credit card ordering fast food. And that is while I am trying to help her pay off $15,000 in credit card debt. She lied and said she would stop. Then I stumbled across our joint DoorDash account. I found she spends close to $700 a month on fast food deliveries while I work. Nearly every day, she hid it from me and lets food in our fridge spoil as she feeds her face with cheeseburgers. A few times she tried to hide the food wrappers. I cross-checked the dates of food deliveries with her texts and found she lied about eating our food while ordering gobs of garbage and digging her hole of debt deeper. Some days she ordered $100 of food and did not tell me. More lies. I am planning a divorce and she does not yet know. I have tried to give her chances to rein in her eating disorder. She ignores me. I will move out into my place after I have a bit more money saved up. Am I the asshole? First comment. Food can be as much of an addiction as any substance and very destructive as well. I am overweight but 40 pounds lighter than I was 4.5 months ago. I understand how food can be a comfort, a craving, and more. Often food that are not good for us, such as fried and greasy food, tend to be the ones we crave. At some point we lose the ability to tell when we are full if one commonly overeats and they just keep eating. Still, she won't change unless she wants to and commits to it. You can't cheat and lose weight. I eat about 1/3 of what I used to, but in reality it's all I need to actually be full. I exercise 6 days a week for 30 men. I have not had fast food, pizza, pasta, parties since I started my program. Do I want them? Sure, but I want back in shape more. I do remember a time of ordering in 4 times a week or hiding fast food bags, but it was not a good time. You can't change her, so NTA. Second comment. As someone who has struggled with food all their life and went from over 500 pounds to 240, I would like to weigh in from a different perspective. Please keep in mind I still struggle with bed binge eating disorder and understand her struggles with food, but I am in no way her advocate, advocating for what she is doing, nor saying what she is doing isn't wrong with lying and getting them further in debt with spending habits. I am also not discounting Op's feelings, as they are totally valid. First, your NTA, you sound like you're checked out. From the mass debt to the lies, you sound fed up. Do I think there is any saving this relationship? No. Separate your finances sooner rather than later. Second, she is TA for continuing to lie to you about her spending habits on DoorDash, racking up more debt. However, this, to me, seems like a cry for help in the same manner. Has she ever sought out therapy before? Is she willing to? Have you ever tried talking with her about how much seeing her going down this path is affecting you? There is so much more of a can of worms that needs to be addressed with her. as bed could be at play if she is ordering $100 worth of food at a time. This could also be a form of shopping addiction that gives her a form of satisfaction as well by shopping for favorite meals and is a major serotonin boost, and the food further feeds that high. I wish you the best whatever your decision may be. Third comment. As an obese woman who understands the struggle of food addiction, NTA, if she wants to feature on an episode of My 600 Pounds Life, that's on her. You've tried to help and she's not hearing it. At this point, she appears intent on destroying herself along with everyone close to her. She'll either figure it out and smarten the hell up, or she'll eat herself to death, and it won't be anyone's fault but her own. Oh right, I forgot that this is the internet and folks immediately have a meltdown anytime you bring up personal accountability. Quit making excuses. People stop acting like those with addictions aren't where they're at because in part, at the very least of the choices they made, or that they're incapable of making better choices on their own.